At the heart of Africa, somewhere in the east, lies a country called Kenya. Some call it the pride of Africa, while others refer to it as the capital city of Africa. Home to over 47 ethnic groups and a population of 50 million plus, according to the 2019 census. Come with me as we go down the rabbit hole to look at the political matters that have shaped the country for the last 63 years since gaining her independence.
Jomo Kenyatta is the father of the African nationalism and the African national movement in this country.
But surely you're all rather more advanced than he is in your thinking about politics. Wouldn't he embarrass you if he was really let go now?
We cannot in any sense be more advanced than our teacher and master, whom I think is much more advanced in political outlook in this country than we are. We are still just in the stages of learning politics from him.
After the struggle for independence for over 10 years, Kenya managed to free themselves from the British colonial rule on 12th December 1963.
In line here, Mr. Duncan Sands, Mr. Malcolm MacDonald, the new Governor-General, and Jomo Kenyatta, ex-Mau Mau leader, now Prime Minister. So after 68 years of British administration, Kenya becomes a sovereign African nation. A time of rejoicing, not surprisingly mingled with some regret. Many Europeans who've grown up with Kenya now regard themselves among the dispossessed. Prince Philip also opened the new independent parliament. The occasion, obviously enjoyed by its members, reminds us that it's with a British system of law and government that Kenya looks to the future. Besides acknowledging the legacy which Britain leaves, Kenya has elected to remain within the Commonwealth. After Prince Philip had read the speech from the throne, Mr. Kenyatta was to express his hopes for a happy continuation of the special relationship Kenya has always had with Great Britain. We can build in Kenya, he said, a country in which race, tribe, colour or creed form no barrier. This was certainly the theme of the state ball, another feature of the celebration.
A year later, it became a republic, with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta as the first president and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga the vice president. But as they say, with power comes great responsibilities. But here it was questions: who will rule the country, for how long, and will the country survive?
Nataka kuwatangazia majina ya wananchi watukufu ambao watakuwa ministers wa serikali yetu tukufu ambayo tunakwisha ianzisha, na vile vile assistant ministers ambao watafanya kazi chini yao. Honorable T.D. Arap Moi, Vice President and Home Affairs. Honorable Mwai Kibaki, Minister of Finance and Planning. Honorable Paul Ngei, wa local government, Honorable Bio Koinange, Minister of State, Office of the President.
Years later, as the country was still trying to figure itself out, something out of ordinary happened. A political assassination. The first political assassination in the young nation. In the morning hours of February 24th, 1965, Pio Gama Pinto was gunned down. He was a member of parliament, a lawyer, and a businessman. His assassination brought so much tension to the young nation. A conviction was made and judgment passed to Mutua Kisilu. This was believed to be the man who shot and killed Pio Gama Pinto.
It took a while before one began to realize that things weren't quite right.
Wacha kuhuzika, kwanza hata sikumjua. Mimi nilitumika kama scapegoat.
Mutua went on to say that his confession was forcefully obtained through torture and harassment, but no one was ready to listen to him. He was sentenced to prison, but years later he was released in 2001 through the presidential pardon. After his release, Mutua maintained that he was innocent and insisted that his confession was forcefully obtained. And in 2017, Kenya's High Court awarded him compensation after finding he had been tortured while in custody. As the nation was still processing the death of the beloved lawyer and the member of parliament for Nairobi, another bad news struck: the resignation of the vice president, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga.
Fairly clear that there is pressure and desire that I should leave the government. The authority concerned has, however, showed reluctance to say so openly to the public. If I thought that there was the slightest chance of putting things right from within the government, then this desire to remove me from office would not worry me, as indeed it has not done for the last 1 year. However, Wananchi, my honest opinion is that the present government has reached a point of no return. It can only do for the people the little that the underground master allows it to do. Its guiding star has become personal gain. I therefore find it impossible to be part of it, and my decision is that from now on I should be free to join with Wananchi in demanding that their voice be heard.
His resignation shocked the nation. How can it happen while they were dearly friends with the president? But people came up with reasons for their split. Others claimed it was because of the ideological differences in their working. It was believed the president was a capitalist who leaned against the Western approach, while Oginga was more of a socialist, which was an approach of the USSR, now Russia.
The wave came from nowhere that Jaramogi was a communist. Wherever he goes, he was followed by intelligence. Even his homes was sacked, that he was keeping bundukis. He wanted to overthrow Kenyatta and take over. So many things were said about Jaramogi.
And of course, there were other forces than foreign forces which did not like Jaramogi because they thought Jaramogi was too leftist. The head of the VOA in Nairobi once told me at a party, he said, we in America, we don't like that guy, Jaramogi. He's left-leaning.
But some of close people to the vice president claimed it was because of how Mzee Kenyatta operated. They claimed that the president wanted to take most of the land which was left by the British for himself, while Jaramogi wanted it to be distributed to the people equally.
He was the national vice president. He was also the canonized vice. And what they did to cut him to size is to create Majimbo vice presidencies of KANU, such that you have a vice president for every province. And Jaramogi was supposed to be a vice president for Nyanza in that arrangement. And that's when he resigned. He said,
Jomo tended to steer away from what they had promised the citizenry. For instance, the land. The land was actually the big factor in disagreement between Jaramogi and Mzee, because Jaramogi and the other guys like Bill Kagia, for instance, plus a guy by the name J.D. Kala, all these are dead. They were very strong supporters of land being distributed to the citizenry. And Jomo, after becoming the president, did not actually live to the promises they had made to the people.
Kenyatta called Jaramogi, and Jaramogi went to Gatundu. And when it was about evening, so Kenyatta took Jaramogi, told him to follow me. Kenyatta was in his car, Jaramogi was in his car. But ile mali nyingi hapa kwa Thika. Samba ya Msungu ilikuwa kubwa na minai. So Kenyatta told Jaramogi, we have fought for this country and we must share things. On the far left, hii masamba na ng'ombe kubwa takuwa yako. Mimi itachukua upande huu. And Jaramogi said no.
After his resignation, he went on to form Kenya People's Union, the KPU. And with the introduction of another party, some members of parliament moved from KANU to KPU. formation of another political party brought a change to the country, since it had operated under one party since its independence.
I feel that this should be left to the party. The party should be properly organized, and the party should represent the voice of the country. And that one will actually streamline what should be the policy of the country.
But clearly you don't think that the party is organized properly at present.
At the present, I don't think so. Hii ni serikali yenu, na tunataka nyinyi kuangalia hii serikali. Tena kuwa na roho ya kuangalia serikali hii, watu wafanya chafua pande huu. Usikubali kwa watu kuchafua serikali, na usikubali kwa serikali aende kando. Ikiwa kama unaona sisi tuko na kasoro, sema wasi. Hapana kaa kimya. Utasema tu kwa sauti ya wale watu wenu ambao iko katika parliament.
After the resignation of Jaramogi, the office of the vice president was vacant, and Joseph Murumbi was appointed to serve in that position. He came in as the second vice president to the country Kenya, but he went on to serve in that position for a short time, from 1966 to 1967. After his resignation, he went on to become a collector of African art, and a museum was built, the Murumbi Art Gallery, found in Nairobi, where most of his collections are displayed to the public. His position was later given to Daniel Arap Moi, who served from 1967 up to 1978, where he became the president after the death of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. The president was surrounded by young, brilliant minds, people who are ready to ensure that the country will turn out to be among the best in Africa and also recognized around the world. Among the great minds was one Thomas Ouko Mboya, Tom Mboya, who together with Mwai Kibaki were among the designers of the country's capital city, Nairobi. Tom Mboya was also a trade unionist, minister, and also served as the Secretary General for KANU during its formation in the early 60s. Tom Mboya had friends from all over the world. Among his friends was John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States, who was later assassinated. John F. Kennedy helped Mboya with the formation of Airlift African program, which helped young students from East Africa to get scholarship and study in the US. Some of the beneficiaries from the program was one Barack Obama Sr., the father to Barack Obama, the first Black American president, and Wangari Maathai, who won a Nobel Prize for conserving the environment. Mboya also helped workers. He represented workers and advocated for better wages and improved working conditions.
When we agreed or decided to become members of the United Nations, we accepted both a commitment and a challenge. A commitment to live by the Charter and the declarations of the United Nations, and a challenge to make our contribution. Like everyone else, whether they be the so-called big powers or the small nations, but to make our contribution and to be a part of the whole, and not merely spectators who go to vote once a year and forget about it. This challenge and this commitment, I am myself confident that the government and people of Kenya are willing and able to meet.
His vision was to see Kenya become among the best nations in Africa and in the world. But his dreams were cut short. On July 5th, 1969, Tom Mboya was shot while coming from Chinese Pharmacy, located at Government Road, now Moi Avenue, at Nairobi CBD. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. However, he died while undergoing treatment.
Spy was interviewed and claimed that South Africans might have had something to do with the assassination of Mr. Mboya. You have commented on this, I know.
I commented last night, and I would like to repeat the same thing, that we have no knowledge of this, and I cannot definitely say anything that affects a sister state. Which is their responsibility.
The assassin Nahashon Jenga was arrested. Nahashon was a man well known in the corridors of power and known to Mboya personally. While in custody, Njenga asked, "Why don't you go after the big man?" This alleged that he had been hired and there was someone else calling the shot. He was convicted and later hanged. However, there were rumors years later that he had been taken out of the country and he was not really dead. This marked yet another assassination in a young nation, Kenya. Tom Mboya died at the age of 39 years with dreams and ambition which were not achieved. Riots and protests erupted over Tom Mboya's assassination in major towns across the countries. buried at his home. A museum was constructed in his honor. Years later, a monument was constructed in the country's capital city, Nairobi, to honor him, and also a street was named after him, Tom Mboya Street, in the capital city.